Good morning. Welcome to Training Tuesday. My name is Suzanne Castle. I'm glad that you're here. We're going to be talking about mindset today, how easy it is to get stuck, what we can do about it, some tidbits for that. So stay tuned for that. But first, I'd love to know, where are you watching from in the world today? It's summer. People are traveling. I am too. And I'm just curious, where are you tuning in from? And if you're checking us out on the replay, please let me know. #replay. You can always drop in your comments and ask questions along the way. I'll try to see them as we're going through and pop them up on the screen as well. Special thanks to StreamYard for making this platform available. So Training Tuesday, let's jump in. We only have about 10 minutes to talk about battling our stuck mindset. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to share a secret with you. Okay, here's my secret. I didn't always believe in personal development. I said it. How about you? Did you always believe in personal development? I think I figured that if I just lived my life, if I worked really hard at my job, if I did those things and I had time to enjoy family and friends, right? And then it was game over. And it wasn't really until I started to get pretty burned out on my work, on my schedule, on feeling overwhelmed, that I realized there has to be more in life than working the same grind every day. Are you with me by chance? Are you in that place right now? I'm just curious. Hello from Toronto. I'm glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome. So let me know if that's kind of been you. I mean, have you just been in the grind all the way? But see, when I was in the middle of that and kind of had honestly, just a weird freak out about not being able to do all the things that I had set myself up for, I discovered that when I changed my mindset, then I could unlock untapped potential. I just was looking and not framing my situation in the right way. And when I did that, I wasn't as frustrated anymore. I felt in control, because that's the biggie, right? When you get burned out, control seems to slip away. I found myself making decisions more quickly because I knew what I wanted. I wasn't afraid to grab it. And if you'd like to know more about this mind shift, that's what we're talking about here today. So let me ask you a question. When you think of successful CEOs, whatever that means to you, what kind of traits do you think they all have in common? You can let me know in the chat. What traits do you think successful CEOs have in common? Well, research has shown and interviews have shown, and there's this long trajectory that's shown, that most successful CEOs are strategic decision makers and big picture thinkers. This big picture thinking is definitely, I think, what separates what I call a CEO mindset from something that I call an employee mindset, because you are either the CEO of your life or the employee of your life. And the same goes true for business mindset. So hang with me for a minute. You see, the employee mindset thinks in the short term. It's action-oriented mindset, but action without any kind of long-term vision or strategic plan in place is just action, and probably is not going to move you forward toward your goals. See what I'm saying here? So think for just a minute about your own past, right? Think about jobs that you've had since you left high school. If you punched a time clock, you were an employee. Employees go in, they perform certain tasks, they punch out, and they go about their lives. Nothing wrong with that. They can usually leave work and do whatever they want until their next shift. They're concerned about doing a good job. That's great at each shift. Not necessarily thinking about moving ahead and what all that means. Looking beyond the moment, or even how to help the company reach more sales and profits. And so that's what I mean when I'm saying short-term actions. That's an employee mindset. You bring it to your life, you bring it to your work. And that's what separates that kind of CEO mindset from an employee mindset. Employees, they're really down in the trenches, right? And when you're doing that, you can't see the forest for the trees. Are you thinking about where you're stuck in your own life right now? When you get in that CEO place, though, you know where the vision is going. You know where you're headed. You're steering your own ship confidently. You can see the big picture and make decisions that affect the organizations that you're working for and that you lead, and your own life with razor sharp clarity. So think for just a moment, maybe even jot down, yes or no, are you being the CEO of your business in life? Or are you thinking like an employee? Others, and maybe even others who are less talented and less tech savvy than I am, and maybe you are, make this whole business life balance thing work really well. And so the good news, at least for me, is that true CEOs aren't these kind of fearless, unhuman, super powered beings. Being a real CEO doesn't require joining the 5 a.m. club, taking cold showers to like jolt your system into being 3 times a day, or spending hours on a cute meditation cushion to the point that your butt goes numb. And maybe you've been told that all those things are what you need to do and a lot more if you want to get in that space. But you're not going to hear that from me, because I really have come to believe that true CEOs are just better at managing the mess inside their minds. I call it the monkey mind, right? That my monkeys like to work overtime. They like to create havoc. They're always throwing things in my midst, right? They're throwing toys. They're throwing feces in any, right? And it makes it really hard. But instead of getting into fear and doubt and mess, CEO mindset forward people have learned to transform them. They've learned to let go of their reservations around outsourcing, right? Which means they don't try to do it all because they know they can't do it all. They quiet that inner critic that tells them they're not good enough to lead or to create whatever else. And they've done the work to confidently change what their work is worth. And they've also learned to deeply trust their intuition. This is important here. They make decisions based on belief and what they believe in without having to mull over them for years. Is that you? Do you find yourself really struggling to make a decision? Is it hard to choose like one strategy, try it on, and make it happen? And see if that feels right for you? Maybe not following every other glossy coach on the block kind of thing, but sticking with something until you have all the data to tell you not to do that anymore? You see, the better news is that you can learn how to do all of this and more too, because the truth is the employee mindset is keeping you and your business stuck and stalled. I'm guessing that you have fears and roadblocks that are holding you back from achieving success from your business to your life. If you feel like you're stuck there, and if I've said anything today that resonates with you about employee mindset, and if you're ready to really be the CEO of your own life and business, it's time to lean in. It's time to take some direct action and create a plan to help. If you go to SuzanneCaswell.com/free, there are several tools there, downloads. You just click it, tell it where to send it, and a PDF will show up. There's things like a speedy priority finder that will help you get some hours back and let you know what you should be working on. There's a whole jumpstart kit that really lets you think about the right questions to say, how to set goals, what you need to be looking at with data to move forward, and it's all there for you free. So I hope that you'll do that. But even the bigger deal is in the room at Verve over 3 days. That's where we tackle this issue that I've just been talking about. It's also where we're going to release our blocks, where we create a customized roadmap solution that will lead to success in life and biz. Because let's face it, if one of those is off, it's all off. And the thing about this annual event that I run called Verve, you implement it right away. It's game-changing training. You'll learn a step-by-step process for identifying and releasing what's holding you back as a leader in your life and your business, so you can finally start running your business and your life like a full-fledged CEO. And you do it in the room. This isn't some fluff that you're like, oh, over 3 days, and I hear all these great speakers, and then I go home and I don't know what to do next. No, you literally walk out with a toolbox to start doing things right then. You'll learn things like how to stop like this employee mindset and make your CEO mindset priority number one. We're also going to talk about getting real about specific fears and doubts that might be stopping you from being a vision-driven leader of life and business. And then we're going to go through a fear-busting process that's going to help you clear and heal these doubts once and for all. I'm going to help you start crushing your goals, but doing that with small and powerful actions that break down even the deepest seated fears that we all bring to the table. And when we're done, after 3 days, you'll have a go-to technique in your back pocket that you can use as you move through any fear that comes up as you step into your role as the CEO of your own life. Because there's always new territory to explore. There's always change that's going to happen, which means there's always the potential for new fears to show up. I promise you these 3 days will dramatically change your business and your life. If this sounds like you, go get the freeze. But if this sounds like you, I don't want you to wait for this annual event, because this year I'm only doing it for 50 people, 50 women in the room. It's going to be small. It's going to be intimate because everybody gets one-to-one time. You're going to get to network with other amazing boss babes in the room. And so we keep it small. We keep it bespoke so that it truly can help you in the room. Right now, I'm doing an early bird special because you checked this out. You can score your ticket at $100 off. Your ticket's only $97 for 3 days of this kind of rocking content. You just need to use the code EB at checkout, and I'll throw it in the comments here. I'm also going to throw up the website so you can see that as well. Let's take a look at, yes, delegation is important. You do need to learn to trust to help build confidence. That's right. You can't do everything. And so you must have that motivation. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for that. So we're talking about ways to delegate and what your worth and your value is at Verve so that you know how to do that together. So if this sounds like you, go to suzannecastle.com/Verve. Remember, you want to use code EB for early bird, EB at checkout, and get your ticket for just $97. That rate's only good for another couple weeks. So don't wait. Tickets are already flying, and I want to be sure to save you a seat at Verve. Don't stay stuck. Take some action today. I'm Suzanne, and I'll see you next week.